She always told me that I was paranoid. Every time I asked her about late nights at work, sudden plans with her coworker, or the way her phone was glued to her hand, she laughed and said I was just overthinking. I tried to believe her because I loved her and didn't want to be the controlling partner who accused without proof. The problem was, the signs were too loud for me to ignore. She had started dressing differently for work dinners, her phone was always on silent, and sometimes she would step outside to take calls. Whenever I asked, she'd sigh and tell me, "You need to trust me. You're paranoid." At first, I thought maybe she was right. Maybe I was just insecure. Relationships are built on trust, and I didn't want to ruin ours with baseless suspicion. So, I swallowed my doubts and pretended everything was normal. But the feeling never went away. It grew heavier each time she rolled her eyes at me for asking questions, each time she came home smelling like a different perfume, each time she smiled at her phone and quickly locked it when I walked in. Then, one night, everything changed. My phone buzzed with a voicemail from an unknown number. I almost ignored it, but curiosity won. I pressed play, and what I heard made my blood run cold. It was a man's voice, slurred and drunk. He said her name. He called her baby. He laughed and went on about how he wished she had stayed the night instead of going home to me. I froze. The words echoed in my head, over and over. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This wasn't my imagination. This was real. I replayed the voicemail again, just to be sure I wasn't mishearing. No, it was clear. He even said he couldn't wait to see her at work tomorrow. My stomach turned. All the pieces came together in that moment. The late nights. The sudden work emergencies. The way she got defensive whenever I asked questions. I wasn't paranoid. I was right all along. The next morning, I didn't confront her right away. I wanted to see how far she'd go with her lies. Over breakfast, I asked her if she had any plans with her coworkers that day. She smiled and said no, it was just a normal day at the office. Hearing her lie so casually, while knowing the truth, hurt more than I expected. I wanted to scream, but I stayed calm. I simply nodded and told her to have a good day. When she left, I saved the voicemail on my computer. I knew she might try to delete it if she ever got her hands on my phone. I needed it safe. That evening, when she came home, I asked her directly, "Are you seeing someone from work?" She laughed like it was the funniest question in the world. "You're paranoid again," she said. "You really need to stop imagining things." I pulled out my phone and played the voicemail. Her face went pale instantly. She didn't laugh this time. She didn't even try to deny it. She just sat there, speechless. After a long silence, she finally said, "It's not what it sounds like." But how could it not be? He literally said everything I needed to know. I told her that trust was broken. All the time she mocked me for being paranoid were actually just her way of covering her tracks. She had gaslighted me into doubting myself, and I was done. She begged me to listen, to give her another chance, but the damage was already done. Love can't survive without honesty, and she had destroyed both. I packed a bag that night and stayed at a friend's place. I needed space to think, but in my heart, I already knew there was no fixing this. The hardest part wasn't losing her, it was realizing how much I let myself believe her lies. I questioned my own instincts, my own sanity, just because she told me I was paranoid. That voicemail wasn't just proof of betrayal. It was proof that I had been right all along. My intuition wasn't the enemy, her dishonesty was. In the days that followed, she tried calling and texting me non-stop. Sometimes she apologized, sometimes she got angry and blamed me for not trusting her. But nothing could erase that recording. Eventually, I blocked her. I couldn't heal while letting her voice and excuses reach me every day. I needed peace, not manipulation. Looking back now, I'm grateful for that drunk voicemail. If he hadn't slipped up, she probably would have kept lying, and I would have kept doubting myself. It was ugly truth, but it set me free. People often say that paranoia destroys relationships. But in my case, it wasn't paranoia, it was instinct. And that instinct saved me from living a lie. Now, I remind myself that trust is earned, not demanded. If someone makes you feel like you're crazy for noticing things, it's probably because they're hiding something. She called me paranoid. But the voicemail proved that I was simply paying attention. And that's how the truth finally came out.